My intestines are shattered. I do enemas every day to take a shit. I have to lay down on the ground with the fetal position with my legs to the left to actually go to the bathroom.
My name's Blow Slogan, yo. I'm a big bully and I'm untouchable. I can do whatever I want, that's right.
Everybody's actually sleeping. I checked.
About 2 weeks back, Liver King got snatched up by the cops in Austin, Texas, all because he went way too far, threatening Joe Rogan and even Rogan's family. And ever since that moment, things have just gotten crazier and darker for him.
I read some comments today or yesterday, and I saw he's losing it a lot. And says it on my desk. Lose yourself.
It's like watching a man completely unravel in real time. Liver King ain't just losing his cool, he's straight up spiraling into some wild dark cloud mode, chasing chaos like it's the only thing keeping him going. And after digging through hours and hours of his videos, two things really jump out, clear as daylight. First off, my own brain definitely feels fried after sitting through all that nonsense. And second, Liver King's brain and ego fully cracked ever since he got exposed. That whole public downfall didn't just hit his image, it broke the man down from the inside out, no question. 2 years later, and he still hasn't bounced back. Matter of fact, about a year ago, he even tried flipping his whole brand, switching up into this weird farmhouse mob boss type vibe. Months down the line, that Netflix documentary finally dropped, all about Liver King and his family. And that right there, that was the last straw for him. I really believe Liver King thought this show was gonna clear his name once and for all. He must have been sure it'd show the world his real lifestyle, like some kind of redemption story. But nope, he wasn't feeling the final cut at all. Now he's out here telling folks to go after the people who made the documentary, like it's their fault things didn't go his way.
And so when motherfucker pieces of shit try and unravel the gift that is my family, like the piece of fucking shit that tried to make a movie and they called it the Untold Truth or something. What we should do to make him pay is boycott every fucking movie that he's ever made prior.
Let's be real though, he's the one who dragged his family into all this, just so he could flex for the cameras and puff up his own ego. After everything that came out about him, Liver King really believed this documentary would flip the script and make folks stop calling him a snake oil hustler. That's how deep in denial he was. And here's the wildest part, the man's loaded with cash. If he really wanted full control over his story, he could have just paid to produce his own documentary from scratch. But now he's out here crying, and honestly, the only ones looking shady in all this are him and his wife, who keeps backing him up on all this nonsense.
I'm gonna go dream tonight. Be next to my queen. Her warm skin. Oh, yeah. She's 51 and I love her and I lust her.
We all saw it clear as day, both in that Netflix documentary and when he got arrested. Liver King keeps hammering the same point over and over, like a broken record, acting like the whole world's out to get him and his family, calling everybody else bullies. Now he's even turning it into this weird storyline, like it's Liver King versus the bully. That's how he's framing things now. But let's keep it honest here. To him, if you ain't hyping him up, you're basically trashing his eyes. Straight up. And thinking back, I don't even recall Joe Rogan saying anything wild about him. Joe just cracked a few jokes, nothing heavy, definitely nothing false or crossing the line.
I'm picking a fight. My fight is in principle. Bullying, I don't allow it. I don't allow big companies to bully. I'm fighting against bullying.
And I really don't remember a single time Joe ever dragged Liver King's wife or kids into it. Not once. Honestly, ain't it worse to lie to your own followers than for somebody else to just speak the truth?
More plates, more dates guy. Unsubscribe to him and the vigorous other guy. And then everyone who unsubscribes, every single one, the millions, I'm going to donate the exact amount to a charity that does good.
But Liver King keeps running in this same sad loop of playing the victim like that's his full-time job. And for anyone wondering who's even interviewing Liver King now, it's not Rogan. Nah, he ended up on some knockoff setup like a Temu version of Joe Rogan. Liver King was dreaming of landing on a show with over 100 million listeners. But instead, he pulled up on a podcast with just 252 views. Not 252 million, just 252. Man, that's rough. Now here's where it really starts getting wild. Liver King's got himself surrounded by straight-up ego massage therapists, folks who just hype him up no matter what nonsense he spits. And if somebody ain't playing the yes man role, boom, they're out of his circle. Even his so-called best friend got cut off like he never existed.
Saying no to your, I'm done ever talking to my best friend again. And so he's not even my best friend anymore. He's not even in the top 40. He's exited my ecosystem.
At one point, Liver King actually gathered all his loyal yes men together to drop what he called his final message.
Bring all those to me. Guys, all of them here. I'm talking, I'm obnoxious. No one's listening still. And look, they all went there. I'm just asking for everyone's attention. We evolved drinking blood more than what we call water today. This is barbarian water. It's delicious as fuck. So I think this is delicious as fuck. You're number one, and just pass it to like, you three get a share, and you can say no. And if that's the case, I want you to just pass it back and forth because you missed the opportunity in a lifetime.
And man, it was pure nonsense. He's up there crying about his old best friend, pouring his heart out like it's some tragic movie scene. Then, out of nowhere, he tells everyone to drink blood from these random water bottles he's passing around, calling it barbarian water. You can't make this up. What blows my mind is how grown adults stood there, all smiles, nodding along like he wasn't completely losing it right in front of them. No one stepped in, no one called for help, just a full-on circus of fake support while he rambled for hours. And outside of that little echo chamber, the only other person who really linked up with him was this dude called Santa Cruz Medicinals. He's a content creator who's all about exposing the dirty side of the food industry in America, always warning people about all the processed junk they're eating daily. Turns out, Liver King connected with Santa Cruz Medicinals because his own son's a huge fan of the guy's brand. Santa Cruz actually spent 48 hours with Liver King right after the arrest, trying to show him some grace and offer a different perspective on things. But even with that 48-hour hangout, nothing really changed for Liver King. Once Santa Cruz Medicinals dipped, it was like Liver King snapped right back into his old habits.
Joe Rogan's not the enemy. McDonald's is the enemy. Crumble Cookie's the enemy.
Bro, just to be clear, is one of us.
He promotes health.
Liver.
Yes, absolutely.
Cold,
Absolutely.
Fighting.
100%. Yeah.
And so how do you contract back? And especially when your wife and everyone else is like, why don't you go get him? Like, you know how to get him, you know?
Yeah.
Why? Because he's actually doing my job for me.
Real shit. People don't really give a fuck about the whole steroid thing. 99% of people don't give a fuck.
Very soon, no one's gonna remember anything about a steroid.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
Well, because it'll be a year from now, 2 years, or 5 or 10 or 20, and it'll be like, oh yeah, do you remember when Jordan has an Achilles severed right before the championship?
Same wild rants, same victim act, same circle of yes men hyping him up like he's still on top of the world. He jumped right back online, posting these intense, shirtless monologues, pacing around his backyard like he's delivering some ancient warrior speech, talking about ancestral truths and being misunderstood by the modern man. Bro, at this point, it's like he's performing for an audience that doesn't even exist anymore. And the craziest part, his fans, or what's left of them, keep feeding into it. They're flooding the comments, saying things like, keep fighting, King, and they don't understand your vision. Like, what vision? The man's out here slamming raw liver on camera and handing out barbarian water like it's some secret elixir. Meanwhile, the real world's just moving on. Brands that used to sponsor him have quietly backed out. Podcast invites stopped. Fitness influencers that once name-dropped him don't even mention him anymore. It's like watching somebody stuck in a time loop, except the only person still watching is him. And now, things have hit a whole new level of weird. Lately, Liver King's been dropping these cryptic posts. No captions, just dark, moody photos of him sitting alone in empty gyms or standing on rooftops, staring off like he's plotting something big. But there ain't no big comeback happening. It's just another layer of that same broken record vibe. Word on the street is he's trying to launch a new supplement line, this time pushing some kind of mind clarity pills. For real, mind clarity. The same dude rambling to himself on camera now wants to sell people focus pills. If that ain't irony, I don't know what is. And you can tell even his team's feeling shaky about it. They're posting less and less. Social media updates used to drop every day. Now it's like once a week, and the energy's just off. No big hype, No wild stunts, just these sad attempts to keep the brand alive without admitting it's already over. Just yesterday, Liver King dropped a full hour-long video, rambling all over again about this whole situation. And this time, he's even trying to play it cool about Joe Rogan, like he's finally trying to reason things out. But let's not get it twisted. For the 1000th time, the real problem was never just about him using steroids. Anybody with a pair of eyes could tell he was juiced up. The real issue was that he kept lying about it over and over while selling this whole natural primal lifestyle package, all based around his shredded look. Think about it. If he looked like a regular dude, nobody would have cared, and his supplements wouldn't have blown up the way they did. That's why folks started calling him a modern-day snake oil salesman, because once you catch somebody lying about something that major, it makes you question everything else. The raw liver eating, the sunning, all of it starts looking like part of the same act. Where does it end? And on top of all that, Liver King even revealed his guns got taken away after that whole Joe Rogan incident. He's walking through his house, showing it all off like it's some kind of tour. Then right before a meal, he goes into this long drawn-out 20-minute prayer to the universe. After all that, they sit around playing Mario Kart at his compound like everything's chill, until out of nowhere, police show up again, and boom, Liver King ends up getting arrested right there mid-game.
Boss, we're here to handle some business. Can you put that down for me? Oh, step down here real quick. I got a question for you. All right?
Yeah, this is Santa Cruz. This is Santa Cruz.
Okay.
The dog, that weapon's on me. Where are they at? No, my weapons, my head and my heart. But these are my weapons. My head and my heart, these are my weapons.
I don't care, you film all you want, get back.
Yes, sir.
The most important thing is Barbarian.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
But here's the wild twist. That whole getting arrested moment, it turned out to be just another prank Liver King cooked up himself. Another one of his desperate grabs for some last bit of viral attention. What really caught my eye, though, through most of that video, he actually sounded halfway normal, calm, making sense for once. But the second those fake cops rolled up and he realized the cameras were rolling, capturing what he hoped would be his next big viral clip, that switch flipped instantly. He went right back into full-on madness mode, rambling about random nonsense, acting more spaced out than ever. It seriously makes you wonder, is this all just some new act he's running? Or is the guy really slipping for real? Like, does he even know what's real anymore? After that whole scene, all his guys line up and start doing that same old barbarian challenge, dragging weights, looking tough, and then Liver King hits everyone with this so-called final message, saying he's done making content online, like this was his grand exit.
We're up against the bullies, and we're up against misinformation.
Yeah.
And together, misinformation and the bully thing, that's the fist bump, pound, lock it the fuck down.
I think a lot of people want you to get back to some of that content that inspires people, helps people, and educates people. Because
I'm not making content.
You're really done? Are you really done?
Here's what, bro, you already know why.
Yeah.
You guys know my swords.
Yep.
These are my swords. I said I'm gonna take some time and I'm gonna try this Liver King thing.
Yeah.
And I have zero regrets. I did it.
You really did.
What happened in the meantime is that I compromised higher swords.
Yep.
I'm not going back to that. But what I will do is, as we do family,
Yep.
as we do what we do in our regular life, everyone's invited to hey, come visit.
Yeah.
You can record.
But here's the thing. Not even 24 hours after saying he was quitting content for good, Liver King popped back up again like nothing happened. This time, he's posting workout clips, flexing, acting like that whole final message never existed. That's the pattern with him now. 1 minute it's all tears and deep speeches. Next minute it's business as usual. People in the comments are already catching on. You see folks writing, "Didn't you say you were done?" And bro can't even stick to his own exit plan. But instead of answering, he just keeps posting, like he's locked in his own little loop, trying to keep the spotlight on him no matter what. And honestly, at this point, it feels less like a comeback and more like a slow fade out. You can tell the energy's not there anymore, the views are way down, barely anyone sharing his videos like they used to, and that whole crew of yes men, they're way quieter now too. It's like even they know the show's about to end. Now here's the real kicker. Even after all that final message talk, Liver King's been flooding social media nonstop these past few days. From the outside looking in, it honestly feels like the man's deep in some kind of ego meltdown, mixed with a manic episode. What's wild is all of this could have been avoided if he hadn't gotten so hooked on chasing clout. But here we are, watching him spiral, and that whole accountability thing he loves preaching feels like he forgot to add that one into his so-called ancestral tenets. Because with Liver King, it's always somebody else's fault. Every time something goes wrong, it's never on him. He's still out here plotting on how to get back at everyone who exposed him or cracked a joke at his expense. And that's really what this whole update was about, y'all. The latest chapter in the never-ending Liver King saga. Sure, his social numbers might be spiking right now, but not all attention's good attention. It's like people are standing there watching the house burn down.
It's almost like it doesn't want to burn. But you know it does. It's like, listen. I really want to burn. I really do want to burn. I'm a fake Jew. My name's Sheldon. See how long it takes for the smoke alarms to go off? And then the police come.
While he's out front trying to sell it for millions, acting like nothing's wrong. At the end of the day, no one's buying it, man. But hey, you let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you made it this far, sound off in the comments. Is Liver King really done? Or is this just another act? Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you want more deep dives like this.